team resilience. Now, this is where it all comes together, in my mind, is with our teams. This slide from the Resilience Vision 2030 report highlights a simple reality. Despite growing awareness, many organizations still struggle to turn resilience into action. The issue is not strategy. On paper, resilience plans are often strong. The real challenge is execution, especially collaboration. Over 60% of organizations cite siloed working as the main reason resilience efforts fail. I hear that echoing in the hallways of my mind. Disruptions don't respect organizational boundaries. When teams don't work well together, resilience breaks down where coordination matters most. That's why the message is clear. The challenge is less about strategy and more about culture and leadership. And this is why the team level is critical. Teams are where resilience either becomes real or it stays theoretical. So let's talk about team resilience in practice. Now that we've framed why resilience strategies often fail, next slide, please. Thanks. So now we've reframed why resilience strategies often fail. This is where things become very concrete at the team level. Team resilience is not about heroics during a crisis. It's about what teams have already built before disruption occurs. The first element is shared awareness and role clarity. Resilient teams understand how their work connects to others. People know not only their own responsibilities, but also who they depend on and who depends on them. When disruption happens, this shared awareness prevents confusion, duplication of effort, and critical gaps. The second element is active engagement in contingency planning. Say that 10 times fast. Plans created in isolation rarely survive first contact with reality. When teams are actively involved in building contingency plans, those plans become grounded, realistic, and usable. More importantly, people develop ownership. They recognize themselves in the plan. That is amazing when that starts to happen. This leads directly to the third element, practice. Embracing what to do and have practice doing it. Exercises, simulations, and walkthroughs build what we often call muscle memory. The ability to act decisively under stress without waiting for perfect information. And this is where real-world constraints matter. In many disruptions, technology is degraded, slow, or unavailable. Teams that rely entirely on SaaS tools, automated workflows, or digital platforms often discover too late that they lack alternatives. Talk to any healthcare organization that's been hacked and they don't have access to their electronic records, and they can tell you how true that is. That's why redundancy in communication and decision-making channels is a key component of team resilience. Simple examples make a big difference. Having direct phone numbers instead of platform-based messaging only, knowing how to regroup when collaboration tools fail, and being able to continue coordinating even with limited systems. It's one of my pet peeves when I was putting together incident management teams or recovery teams, and the only phone number available for people was their team's address, their email address. And you could reach them through Teams. I said, what good is that going to do me when, it's on a holiday weekend and everything is down and I don't have access to that and Teams is not available and they can't get to it either. If I don't have a phone number to call, what do I do? Okay, I won't digress too much farther, but I think you all can relate to something like that. So what all of this highlights is a simple truth. Team resilience is not created by policies or frameworks alone. It is created through habits, shared understanding, and repeated practice. When teams are resilient, they become the point where strategy turns into action. They absorb shocks, adapt in real time, and help the organization moving forward, even when conditions are far from ideal. This is why strengthening team resilience is not a nice to have. It is one of the most effective ways to close the gap between resilience, intent, and operational reality. One of my foundational statements when I would put together a new recovery plan in the technical world is use the same tools in recovery that you use in production. Use what people know. They will know what to do. They don't have to remember to do something different when they're responding to an incident. Use the tools, they know what to do. It is built into their just natural flow of how they address problems, how they deal with things. It's so true. That's why teams exercising together in day-to-day actual incidents, as well as major disruptions, they know what to do because that's what they do on a day-by-day basis. It's truly embracing resilience through every fiber of the organization and the very fabric of the organization. It is part of the culture.